Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden Tips video breakdown, I want to take a look at a defense that's called a nickel double A gap rush 3 buzz. Been using this defense quite a bit over the last couple years. I've had some different setups that I've found at work, so this year I want to show you one that I like in Madden 21 that seems to be working pretty good for me. So I want to go ahead and take a look at it for you guys, let you guys see what it looks like and see what you guys think. And let's go ahead and take a look at the play art as far as the play diagram from the play call screen. So as I mentioned already, we're going to run this one right here. It's the nickel double A gap out of the, of course, the nickel double A gap rush 3 buzz. You'll find this out of the 49ers playbook. And then on the offensive side of the ball, if you're following along, we're just going to go ahead and run the gun doubles mesh. Pretty popular passing concept that a lot of players will run in this year's game or throughout the year. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and get into this and just show you how it will work. One of the things I want to point out is I'm going to do this as if it's down inside the 10-yard line, 12th defender. I've talked about that in another video breakdown. If you've not watched that video, I suggest you do so. Then you'll kind of understand a little bit more of why I'm doing this. But just keep in mind, this particular defense does work outside of the, when it gets down to what I call the critical zone, which is inside the 10 yards. From the 10 yards in, it's definitely a defense you can definitely run and have some success with. So what I want to do is I just want to go ahead and show you the breakdown of this. Just look at the coverages initially. As you look at it, you're going to find that you got 3 defenders playing 3 deep coverage. So let's just look at those real quick. So that's where you get the 3 deep at, or at least the word 3 in the defense's name title. And then you also get the word buzz. This is the guy right there. That's the buzz defender right there, which is going to be the, in this case, it's going to be the strong safety. And, of course, you get 5 defenders that are rushing the quarterback as you look at your screen here. And that would be these guys right here. These would be all 5 of your defenders by default that are rushing. All right, let's go ahead and run the defense, not do anything at all. No adjustments, no nothing. Just look at it and see what kind of pressure we get. Hopefully, in this case, we got Bosa out there. He got some pressure, but it's not because he got freed up. He had to use his X factor and his abilities to get past the left tackle. All right, so let's get into the breakdown. That's what you guys came for as far as looking at this breakdown. One of the things I like to do with this defense is take control of this gentleman right here. I'm going to go ahead and bring him up here, and I'm going to go ahead and put him in a hook curl. The other option, we'll look at that, would maybe possibly a QB spy, depending on what your opponent likes to run. Since they're running the mesh, you might want to go into the QB spy. So let's go QB spy just to make sure we get somebody over the short middle of the field. And then I'm going to control this guy right here. I'm going to bring him up. And remember, he's playing a hook zone, but I'm going to go ahead and bring him up in this area here as you see on your screen. So once the ball is snapped, what I want to go ahead and do with him is I'm going to go ahead and have him go in this direction here. So what he's going to do is, while I'm in control of him, I'm going to have him going about right in this area here. So maybe at the 3 to 4 o'clock position on your controller. The idea of this is to try to drop, to get this right tackle to look to block me. Now, if that happens, you're going to see a lot of action going on inside with the blocking assignments. What should most likely happen is that for sure you're going to get pressure from Bosa, or for whoever you have lined up at the right end spot, will definitely get a free shot at the quarterback. He should. On top of that, because all the action that's going inside amongst the offensive linemen who they're trying to get blocked and whatnot, remember, you got all these other blitzers. You got 2 gappers, 2 A-gap blitz-looking guys right here, these 2 linebackers. So they're showing blitz as well. More than likely, no, I can't say more than likely, but I'd say a good 50 to 75% of the time, you're probably going to find pressure also from this linebacker here. I can't guarantee it, but you're probably going to see 2 of these guys getting pressure. Definitely Bosa from the outside and possibly that linebacker. You may also see something where he gets the pressure, and then for some reason this left tackle comes out, and then he ends up blocking Bosa, but you still get the inside pressure. But most of the time, you're probably going to see Bosa definitely get the pressure, and possibly one of those linebackers, in particularly the linebacker I've already highlighted once or twice already, but this linebacker right here. So let's go ahead and run this. I want to show you how it works, and then it'll give you an idea. Now, keep in mind, I do have baseline off. You can turn it on, turn it off, whichever what you want. Personally, I'd like to turn it off at times, but you can definitely get it with the baseline on. So let's just go ahead and run this, and I'll show you how it works, and then we'll see what kind of pressure we get here. So let's go ahead and do it. So right there's our pressure that we're getting. And then if you watched at the very last second there, you're going to see that that linebacker was able to get in there and get the pressure as well. Usually it's a little quicker than that, but let's go ahead and look at it and see what's going on here as far as the blocking. So as I said before, one of the things I'm trying to accomplish here is I want to get him over here because I need to get this guy, this right tackle, look to block me. Now, when you first watch this, as you watch this, you're going to see that the right tackle, at least initially, looks to block this guy right here, which is the strong side defensive tackle. So let's go ahead and do that first. See how he goes in, at least initially? He looks to block him. You can see on your screen, he's right there, he's looking to block him. And then as I go to the outside here, then he switches, and then we get him trying to block there, which is fine. Now, the other thing is you keep watching. I want to get you guys watching at the last second here. This is what happened. So now at this point, we've got, let's go ahead and zoom in some more here. At this point, you're going to see that we have these offensive linemen. Let's go ahead and clear that. You have these offensive linemen right now as you're looking at your screen. All three of these guys are blocking those three defensive linemen. And you can see on your screen that Bosa is now having that free shot. But watch as we continue on here, and it's a little bit later than normal, but right here is where I want to show you. You can see, watch this left tackle here as you're watching your screen here. Watch this left tackle and see what he does, and that's the key. See how he switches? Once he switches and looks to go ahead and block Bosa, the problem is he's too late. He cannot possibly block Bosa at this point. So when he switches, then these other two offensive linemen now, they look to block into this direction here as you're looking at it. They look to block these guys, and ultimately we're going to end up, let's go ahead and look at this from a top-down view a little bit better. And when I mentioned these two guys, if you look at it, they look to block these two defenders right here as you look at your screen. And then when that happens, then that's when it frees up this linebacker to get that pressure. And that's what you're seeing here if you look at it right there. See how he gets off, and he finally gets in there and gets the pressure. So at some point, he's going to generally get in there pretty quick and get that pressure on the quarterback. Let's go and do the same thing again. So we're going to go ahead and put this guy in a hook curl, or we'll put him back in QB spy again. Let's do that. And then we're going to go ahead and bring this guy here, and then we'll go ahead and do the same thing I just showed you. And here we go with the pressure I was just talking about. The same thing. A lot of times you're going to end up getting that inside pressure and that outside pressure. You're definitely going to get somebody in. I guarantee you guys that. And then you're still going to get some decent coverage when you run this defense against this. And there's the mesh concept. So as you're looking at it, I'm able to go ahead, and I've got pretty decent coverage right now as you look at it. With the QB spy on, the quarterback really doesn't have an option here to throw to. I mean, possibly at some point he might, but he definitely doesn't have any option here. Keep in mind, I'm in control of this gentleman right here, as I said earlier. Now, if I wanted to, I could go out and cover the flat because I'm in control of him. I could go over here and take away that running back, or I could drop back into this area here and give myself another defender just in case this guy comes across the field. I'll be in position to defend that. So that's the cool thing about the 12th defender as far as having the end zone taken away. You can do a pretty good job at defending a lot of stuff with this defense, plus get some nice pressure on the quarterback. And as I mentioned earlier, we're just talking about, let's go back into the top-down view because you really can see what I'm talking about here. Let's rewind it a little bit. So remember I was telling you guys how these offensive linemen switch. They're going to do this again. Now watch. See how the left tackle particularly, he switches now at the last second, but he cannot get to Bosa in time. And when he switches, that's when the whole offensive linemen just don't know who to block anymore. And in this case, we end up actually getting 3 defenders in. Now, I cannot guarantee you're going to get 3 guys, but you're definitely going to get 2 a lot of times. At least 50% of the time, we're going to at least get 2 defenders in. But you're definitely going to get 1, probably 2 at some point. In this case, we got 3. 3 is kind of a rare number. You're not always going to see that. So I want to point that out to you. This defense definitely brings some pressure on the quarterback from the outside and probably from the inside. Let's do one last thing here. I want to go back and actually 2 couple things. I wanted to mention to you, if you're using the 49ers, make sure you do the reorder of the depth chart. And I just want to show you guys real quick what I did. And I don't know if this is something that you guys would want to do, but I've got Armstead out here at the by default, he's lined up at the left end position. Now, in the nickel double A gap, it's actually going to be forward. He actually lines up there. He replaces Armstead. So if we go back in here into the thing here, let me go back into the formation. I want to show this to you guys real quick without getting too far off. Then you're going to have what am I trying to say? I'm losing my train of thought here again. You're going to have Ford and Armstead both lined up out there, and I'll show you why here in a second. And what I did with this when I did this breakdown. One of the things I like to do is I like to go ahead and move Armstead. If you're looking at it, he's lined up right here as you look at your screen. I've got him lined up, and I went into the substitution menu. So I went into the where you go and make your subs at. I went ahead and moved Armstead inside to the strong side defensive tackle, and then I moved, I believe it's Kinlaw. I think that's his name. Yeah, Kinlaw. I moved him to the weak side defensive spot. So that gives me, in my opinion, my best pass rushers on the line. I've got two really, really nice pass rushers over here working together, Armstead and I've got Armstead and Ford working over there, and then I've got this gentleman right here, Bosa, working over there. So I've got three really, really good pass rushers, and then I think that'll help me out maximize my chances of getting pressure on a quarterback when I come out in this particular formation. So that might be something you guys consider doing. I don't really get too much into subs because I think that a lot of times I like to see you guys make your own adjustments because I'm not playing your team, and so you're going to have other ideas than what I might have. But with the 49ers, I'd probably go with this. I suppose in some of the breakdowns I could, give you some of my suggestions, but that's definitely what I would do if you're coming out in the nickel double A gap formation if you're playing the 49ers. Last thing we want to do is I just want to go ahead and run this deeper down the field, just back in between the out of the critical zone, just so I can show it to you and kind of give you an idea. Let's go ahead and run it against this, and then we'll go ahead and get out of here on the video breakdown here. I know it's another long one. Going on darn near right now 12 minutes, probably be at 13 minutes by the time I get done doing this, 13, 14. So let's go ahead and respot it. And by the way, I do appreciate you guys following along. I'm actually about to hit 1,000 subscribers. A lot of that's came over the last month and a half since Madden 21 dropped. I've been able to build it up pretty quick. If you guys are, I just messed up there. If you guys are, guys have been with me for a while, I appreciate you guys still following me, and from the VG Sports Times. For you guys who are new, I hope you guys are enjoying these videos I'm showing because hopefully it'll give you guys some ideas. Let's just go right around the 30-yard line. It doesn't really matter. I just want to show the setup real quick to you guys from outside of the critical zone. So if you're going to run this one, I would suggest don't put him in a hook zone. Just leave him in his deep blue over the deep middle, but bring him up somewhere up in the 5-7 yard range. That way, if they were to throw a quick pass, he could at least be somewhat close. And then the other option would be to take control of this guy right here and then go ahead and do this. And then I just want to show you how this would work. And then you're just going to hope you get some of that inside. Again, we got that pressure from the outside, and eventually that linebacker gets in. So you're going to get some pressure from two guys more than likely. All right, remember I talked about base of line being turned on? We're going to go ahead and turn it off right there. And you just noticed, let's go ahead and turn it back on. The one difference is, particularly, is you're going to see these guys right here. They're going to move in closer when you turn it off. You still can get the same pressure. Just go ahead and move this guy up again. And then I'm going to go ahead and take control of him. And then I'm just going to go ahead and loop him around. I'm just trying to draw that right tackle. And then there I get that same pressure again. So you can have baseline on, baseline off. It doesn't matter. Just know that you can work. Just make sure you guys, this guy right here is really the key to this whole defense is this guy right here. You definitely want to bring him up, and you definitely need to loop him around and get over here to get that right tackle to look to block. Because if you get him to look to block, you're definitely going to get somebody in. And then you can do whatever else you want with him while you're in control of them. So at any rate, I hope that this blitz gives you guys another one you guys can run, or at least take a look at it. Let me know what you guys think. I know some of you guys may not like it, and that's fine. We all have our opinions, and this is something I like to run, and it's done some damage for me, I must admit. So, again, this is the nickel double A gap rush 3 buzz. Hey Madden gamers, if you enjoy this Madden video or any other video, please subscribe to the Madden Guides YouTube channel. And as always, thanks for watching and for your support.